better come my way. Y'all better come my way. Okay, and say, y'all better come my way. I'ma make a statement day by day. Peace out, up. Put them in the air and go rise
Welcome
up.
to Jampacked, y'all. Before I get into the very special treat that I am extra uber duber geeked about, make sure that you follow, subscribe, all that good stuff on youtube.com/jampacked, as well as on Instagram at Jampacked Show. And again, make sure you follow all of the amazing guests that we ever have on the show, because everyone is amazing in their own right. Now, without any further ado, y'all, this has been a long time coming. Our guest today, she is a 25-year radio and TV personality. She is the morning host of the Angi Taylor Show that is on from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. weekdays on iHeartMedia, Chicago's brand new rock station on Rock 95.5. If you're like me, not living in Chi-Town, you can get all the glory and all the juiciness via the iHeartRadio app, and now finally in podcast form, y'all. The show debuted October 5th, 2020. Before that, she put the Angi in the iconic Fred and Angi in the Morning Show on 103.5 Kiss FM in Chicago for the last 10 years. And she was with Kiss FM for 12 years of that. You may know her from the iHeart Media nationally syndicated night show, The Rendezvous. She is the host of the podcast, #Girl Goals, which shines a spotlight on Chicago women and girls from all walks of life, doing big things, not just an interview, but a blueprint on how you can achieve your own goals, girls, for the girls. You may have seen her on Chicago's #1 daytime talk show, Windy City Live on ABC 7 Chicago, called Mom's Roundtable when you watch the iHeart, or maybe even when you watch the iHeart Radio Music Festival, you see her jamming and dancing backstage. She's contributed to morning shows on KDWB in Minneapolis and WIOQ in Philadelphia. She's been built for this, y'all. She was only 22 when she was offered a position at the morning show and at a Minneapolis radio station. This officially made her the youngest person to hold that position. I just want y'all to know the depth and deepness of what is taking place right now. When she's not on the air, she devotes her time to several organizations, including Paws Animal Rescue, Girls on the Run, the Alzheimer's Association, and many local Chicago charities. She's an advocate for women, girls' rights, equality, LGBT, and animal rescue adoption, like I said. And she is a mentor for the nonprofit Brown Girls Dream, which is to create space for women of color through mentorship and sisterhood. Fun fact, it's a charity through her girl, Carrie Champion. She is also on the board of the Serenity Foundation. And the Serenity Foundation is the first ever nonprofit offering financial assistance for ketamine infusion therapy for depression, anxiety, PTSD, as well as bipolar. She's a mother of a 16-year-old daughter. She has 2 rescue dogs with the dopest name ever, Shug and Dre, and has been married to her husband, Jason, for 10 years, only because, in her words, my cousin Nate was not available to wife her.
That's right.
And she's a 5-time triathlete. Y'all, that's a very big deal, to train, to run, to swim, to bike. She's a marathon runner. And in her spare time, she loves to travel and spend time with family and friends. She is a first-generation Serbian. Call her yo princess, if you will. She's a part of Team Baby Hairs. She's your girl's girl. And she is a lover of wine, prince, and strippers. Because you love them strippers. Joining us from Chi-Town, Chicago.
Hey.
Folks,
Wow.
I bring to y'all Angi Taylor. Woo!
Oh my God. Wow. I mean, you asked Jeeves, you went deep. You did the Google Wikipedias. Oh my God, that's like an epitaph. Am I going to die soon? Because I've never had an intro like that in my life. Thanks so much for having me on.
Oh my God.
Yo.
I need people to know the depth and amazingness of Angi Taylor. Anyone that follows on Instagram or maybe has heard me maybe mention this in passing, this is the woman right here responsible for putting, hey, just start a podcast in my head. She is the reason there's a Jampacked. I need y'all to understand and come correct to Angi Taylor, because if it wasn't for this woman, I really don't know where I'd be. I feel like I'd probably still be trying to like apply to radio stations and news stations and just trying to figure myself out right now.
That would not have been a good route. So I'm glad that you actually took that advice, and I'm so fucking proud of you. Like, I am so proud of you. This podcast is amazing. You are such a great, I have to tell you, interviewing is not easy to do. And so hosting a podcast where you're constantly interviewing people, there's a science to it that a lot of people don't understand. And a lot of people, when they have podcasts, here's me like going off. A lot of people, when they have podcasts, they just sit and rattle off things like it's their stream of consciousness or their stream of stupidity. And they don't take the time to actually listen to the person that's on with them. You know what I'm saying? But listening to your podcast, holy shit, like you are really, really good. And I'm so proud of you. And you give me chills. Dude, that made me feel really good. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. And I'm going to try not to get emotional this episode, because I was so down when you had brought that to my attention, and I'm just eternally grateful and humbled for that. And that means the world just to hear you say that.
Aww. My love.
Okay. Now Jampacked can be over. Thanks, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, bye. Well, I tell a lot of people too, because there are still people that for some reason want to get into radio, which radio's great. It's been great for me. I love it. But especially since the pandemic and everything, there's not a lot, like the radio OGs are few and far between anymore. And we're not allowed interns anymore, which is how I got my start. Thanks to that chick on the David Letterman show or whoever that ruined it for everybody. But so that's how I got my start. And so a lot of people are like, how am I even supposed to get in? And ever since you and I had that conversation, it's always been, hey, start a podcast. And, just that's your workout. It's like when a comedian, as a comedian, you work out. And so that's the way to get your air check. Like, so somebody could at least hear you, see you and figure out if you're the right fit for them and their station, whatever that might be. So I'm so glad you heeded that advice, because when we spoke about that, it was in the very baby stages of podcasts. You know what I mean? Podcasting wasn't the gorilla that it is today. And you got in early and now you're cracking. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Because I was like, podcasting. I mean, I've heard people say just start a podcast, but not someone that I trust and that I knew that was like, just start a podcast. You got it. Just do it. You really never know what words will resonate with folks. And
that's so true.
What people need to hear in that very moment. And I was so down and out. I was so depressed and just like, fuck, like I don't fit in. Like I didn't feel like I fit in anywhere. Like, with black folks, the gay folks, black gay folks, news folks, like I never could find where my spot was. And it's really just carve your own lane, make your own path.
It's so great. You found your crease, because everybody has to find their little crease, their little angle. They're in somewhere, and podcasting is great for that, because no matter what you're into, it could be the craziest, you can let your freak flag fly on podcasts, and there's always somebody that flies that same flag, that gets what you're saying and it feels you.
Yeah.
So,
and it's great. Yeah. It's nice to like be able to reach folks that finally get you or understand where you're coming from. And I love that radio has now also embraced the podcast verse as well. Putting the shows on podcast form. Like that's how I can hear your show. That's how I listen to the Breakfast Club. That's how I was listening to you on Fred and Angie when I would get a chance to, now even was it Sirius now also has stuff on demand as well, and listen to Sway. Like I try to listen and to, all of y'all are great teachers, so I appreciate you taking the time to hang and to have some shenanigans, some jam-packed shenanigans. This is
hell yeah. Where's your drink? I don't see your drink yet.
Oh yeah, I've just been so like geeked, like I'm blushing, I'm feeling emotional. I've got a little sangria, so which is it's great that there's a professional here to lead us to our next order of business. Cheers to that.
No,
yes, cheers. No,
cheers.
I love it.
I wasn't trying to rush you, but at the same time, I'm that thirsty hoe at the bar that's like, hey, bartender, let's go. I've been standing here for 10 minutes. Where's my drink? Like, Jameela, where's your drink? Come on.
Right? I need you to have a drink. Come on. I don't want to be the only one drinking here. Yeah.
Come on. Make us alcoholics feel at home.
I know, right? I need somebody.
You see the glass?
Yes.
It's
my
a Prince wine glass.
That is amazing. So
that is a dork. Only a dork would have. It's like having a Game of Thrones wine glass or something. Like what? Like
people listening, just go ahead and hit pause. At some point, I was going to tell y'all to hit pause. Hit pause. Go to youtube.com/jampacked and check out Angie's amazing wine glass. As a Prince super fan, I can't wait to talk to you about that.
Yes.
Oh wow, that's such a cool glass. I've never seen a glass like that.
It's for that's the so cool. wine, and it is funky.
Yeah.
His name is Prince. Yeah. Well, I grew up in Minneapolis. Like you have to be a Prince fan, right? I mean, we bleed purple out there for our Vikings and our Prince, but prawns, as Beyonce would say, prawns. I love my Prince. And actually, oh my gosh, what is the date today? Yeah, his death anniversary is right around the corner, April 21st, which is kind of wild. Shoot. I just realized. Yeah. And I was actually in LA. I was out your way. Actually, I was on a plane to LA. I get on the plane and at that time I had rarely ever like bought internet on the plane, because I'm like, whatever, I'll sleep on the plane. Yeah. Long ass flight from Chicago to LA though. So I'm like, I'm going to get the internet. As soon as I sign on, my Twitter feed was blown up of people going, I'm so sorry, Angie. I'm so sorry. You okay? And I'm like, who died? Like, did my mom die? Like, what the hell happened? I had no idea. So then finally I saw that Prince had died. And listen, I was such a bawling mess that the flight attendant came up and she's like, are you okay? And I told her, I'm like, there was a death in the family. Cause I didn't want to say Prince died because she would be like, oh. And then, but she kept bringing me free drinks the whole time. So shout out to that flight attendant. But yeah, that was wild. And then here's the other weird part of it. So I go to meet, I was going there to see Carrie, and but I was staying in a hotel, and I was staying at like a W, I think in Beverly Hills, and my room number was 421, which is the day he died, which was wild to me.
What?
Yeah. I know. And I'm like, I'm a weirdo that's like all about like numbers and symbols. And I read into those kinds of things all the time. And I was like, my baby's talking to me right now.
Yeah, me too. That's when wild. I see my birthday time, 111, 1111, 555, 222.
I've been seeing 1111 all the time lately, all the time. 1111 and 1234, 1234. And I read that the 1, 2, 3, 4 means you're on your life's path because it's like it's in sequence, right? So you're walking the path that you're supposed to be. And 1111 is usually like a message that, like from your spirit guides, like, hey, hi, I'm here. Like somebody that maybe passed that's trying to let you know that they're looking at you.
Yeah,
they're seeing all the things you're doing.
Yeah, they definitely see me. They're over here just messing with me. That's it's terrible because my spirit guide, I learned, is like a practical joker. And so he likes to make some of my stuff go missing. So for the last 24 hours, literally, I was looking for my AirPod. And it happened to be like in my hoodie pocket that was like on the couch. But for 24 hours, I was looking for my AirPod. I was like, I just had it. And then I was just like, man, I think it was the spirit guide because he likes to take some of my shit and put it back.
Because I am losing shit nonstop. And to me, I'm like, early onset. The early onset is setting in. I feel it coming. I can feel it. But now I'm going to be like, no, it's just my spirit guide messing with me. You know, he's such a jokester, that spirit guide.
Right, that spirit guide.
I'm not getting old. It's my spirit guide. He's crazy. I'm glad you told me that. I feel much better now. Like,
that's all you got to do. Just say it's your spirit guide.
Oh shit! I'm blaming spirit guide for everything now.
Yes.
Oh, I'm drunk and acting stupid. Spirit guide. Spirit guide told me. What? Oh, I fell on somebody else's dick. That was not my fault.
That was totally not me. You know, like my wife and I were trying to figure out a name because I don't know where she heard it. I think maybe it was like on TikTok, like a name of somebody that you could just blame it on. Be like, it wasn't me. It was fucking Steve. Like, you know, so it has
to be an old Steve. You got to think of a real old timey name though. Like, because if it's your spirit guide, it was probably some old time, like Cortland.
Exactly. It was fucking Cortland.
Fucking Cortland, man. Always just like messing everything up.
Oh my god.
Jebediah over here.
Fucking Jebediah. Always with the horse and carriage. Fucking Jebediah.
Oh, you have to start the Jameela and Jebediah show. Jampacked.
Welcome, Jebediah. It's been a long time since we
He's like, how about those ear pods? That shit was funny.
Exactly. Oh shit. Oh god. Yeah, I gotta think of like an old Haitian name because apparently my spirit guide is like from the island. So
how do you know?
Well, so I have a reader. You should hit her up. She's been on the show, and she did the After Dark, the one that I just posted today. But she is a tarot card reader, intuitive healing, and all that good stuff. And so we've had readings before after you told me start a podcast, we had had a reading and she was like, you need, like basically saying you need to do a podcast. Like you need to be the voice of the community. Yeah. Like that shit. When that happened, I was like,
my advice got a cosign from your spirit guide in Haitian? Haitian spirit guide?
From my reader. Haiti? Yeah. From my reader.
From your reader?
Yeah. From the whole ancestor community. They were all in agreement.
There you go. Get on your Google later and Google those old Haitian names and let me know what you picked for your spirit guide.
I will. I totally need to. Oh man.
Or I feel like he'll show you somehow. Like your spirit guide will show up. He'll show you what his name is. Like you'll like flip through a magazine and there'll be some like Haitian name there and you'll be like, boom, that's it.
But you know what? Yeah. See, so maybe that's what I need to do because I feel like I've been trying to ask him for his damn name for quite some time, but I'm always like, oh, okay, like what? Like I see a name. Is it Dave? Is it fucking John? Like I'm the one to like just overthink and just overanalyze everything. And I'm like, well, I mean, that could be the name. That could be the name. What if it was kitchenware? What if that was really his name? You know what I'm saying? Hey, Jason. A lot of Libra. Hey, boo.
There's the husband right there. Hey. I'm on the Jampacked podcast. I know. He always talks about how much he loves you. We both do.
I love me some Jason so much. And the fact that he just married you made it like 10 times more amazing.
Aw, he loves you. He loves you.
I love Jason so much.
Please tell the Amber Rose story, please. 'Cause
I think is this how we bonded? Is this how we like really? I was like,
we're both trying to fuck Amber Rose.
Right. We all a throuple and I just want to watch. What was, okay. So it was an after party, Amber Rose. So you tell the story. So, because I feel like y'all had a head start on Amber Rose.
Well, I didn't. Okay, so yeah, we were all so your cousin Nate at the time was working for NBC, and one of his cushy perks was getting all of his friends and family into these parties for the Golden Globes, right? And that was by the way one of the greatest, most fun nights of my life, going to the Golden Globes, and Nate let us go on the red carpet. We got to like act like we were famous and get our picture taken, and Nate got us like makeup art. I'm like, damn, like okay, so it was amazing. So then there's this after party after the Golden Globes, and there's, it's an NBC party, and all these celebrities are there or whatever. And
all the housewives, roaming around.
Yes. And I vividly remember my husband hurdling 5 guys like FloJo trying to get to Amber Rose. And I'm like, where are you going? And then I saw that bald ass back there. And I was like, oh shit. Then I start hurdling people trying to get to Amber. And then I see you right next to me hurdling people trying to get to Amber. And we rushed her so hard. And I believe at that point, she and Future had just broken up. And I believe I said to you, because I distinctly remember going, oh, she said I could be a rebound. And I have like a few pictures standing with her, and all I'm doing is staring right into those titties because she looked amazing. And then at one point I just kept like leaning like close to her. And then she was like, all right, like I've had enough of this. Like she had her people like make everybody kind of get away. I probably ruined it for us. I'm the one that ruined it for us, Jameela. I fucked it up because I was too thirsty with Amber.
I thought I was going to watch some really like hot shit take place that night.
Wouldn't have jumped in with the tag team, like nothing.
I mean, no, I was definitely down to tag team, but I knew you had to be the lead. we lead with you.
Feeling it after a moment. But how much even more beautiful is she in person, which is super annoying. I've never seen skin like it's like alien skin, like. Not a dimple, a crease, any kind of pore on her face. How does she get any sort of oxygen or moisture? There's no pores on that bitch. Like she's perfect. It was amazing. It was amazing.
It was beautiful.
She was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
Oh my God. And she smelled good.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. She was like one of those from another world type situations,
Listen, y'all both could have gotten it that night. That's for sure. But I knew I did not look the way that I look now. I did not. I was still,
beautiful.
Beautiful. Thank you. I was very much so a baby stud trying to find myself in my suit. So
baby
I was
stud.
like, game not looking.
You had a nice little hookup going on. I liked your suit.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That was very kind of you.
I liked it. Yeah. That I do miss the Kanye and Amber together though. That was the greatest couple.
But every time
single again, I'm like, go get back with Amber because that's when you were good. We miss the old Kanye, the Amber Kanye.
Right. When Amber had that shit in check, just. But every time I think of Amber and Kanye now, I just think of like two finger booty. I just
finger on the booty ass bitch.
Exactly.
Hey,
that's the only thing I can think of.
I have a feeling that the most straightest dudes ever are still like kind of want to be finger on the booty ass bitches and are just like they're kind of scared.
Right.
No,
right.
Like I'm not gay now. I try it.
Oh man. Oh goodness.
I don't know, Jam. Cheers, baby. Cheers, baby.
Yes, cheers. So I want people to understand the dopeness and the depth of kind of where we're going to go today in our amazing conversation that we've already had so far. But I figure let's kick it off with a little bit of the interrogation. Dun dun dun.
Dun, dun,
So,
dun.
which is basically if I ask, so it's just basically a spitfire questions. If it's something that you would prefer not to answer, if you must ask for your attorney, then you take a drink. But if you do answer it, then I will take a drink. And this is just kind of a fun little way.
Spit or swallow then, Jameela, let's be honest. Spitfire questions. Will you take it or not? I get what you're saying. Try to always be a lady, swallow, but I don't know what you're going to ask me.
Always swallow. From my hoe days to yours, always swallow.
I'm a lady. I was raised right, Jameela. Come on.
Oh my God. Okay, so question number 1.
Yes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
If Fred, Dave, Chio, Booker, and Booker were on an island,
yes,
who do you save?
Booker.
Ooh, okay.
Do you need a backstory to that?
I mean, we would love a backstory, but I'm going to take a drink.
Well, here's the thing. Booker is still one of my most favorite people in real life. He lives out there in LA. He's on the air in LA. Mm-hmm. And he's working for iHeart as well. Make sure you check out the Booker show. But Booker not only is like one of my like real, like, when you work with people that intensely, and you're constantly, you talk to them for 6 hours a day, intense talk. Like, I don't talk to my husband that way, my daughter that way, my best friends that way, And so, especially after years, you start to be like, all right, motherfucker, I know, like, enough. So Booker and I worked together and for maybe only like a year. And so maybe that's part of the equation, is that I didn't get sick of him working with him. Not that I got sick of anybody else, but he's just my favorite. He's my favorite.
And you also worked with him technically remotely, wasn't it?
I did.
This is my deep dive research. I didn't know that it was.
God damn.
I didn't know that it was
my wiki
remote.
page. I don't have one, but you should write it.
No.
So yeah, because I was in Chicago. So real quick on that, I was at Q102 in Philadelphia with Chio. I became pregnant with my baby daddy who lived in Chicago. We were dating long distance. I became pregnant. He gave me the whole, hey, move to Chicago, we'll get married, like, life. I'm like, cool. I ended my contract, quit my job and left. And I didn't work for like 3 years. So he and I eventually, after 3 years, split up, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go back to work. So, Philadelphia called and they're like, come back. And I'm like, I can't, I have a daughter. I don't want to, I would never take her away from her father. So I can't come back. And they're like, well, can you do it from there? I'm like, yeah, I can do it from here. So then by that time, the show had evolved and it was the Booker show. And so I started working with him. So yeah.
Nice.
And then we worked for like a year and then we got popped because they brought in Elvis, who I love. I love Elvis. He's like one of my best friends. Yeah, but he still owes me a lot of money.
Ooh.
Got me fired.
Yes.
Yeah. No. He's so good. He's so good. He's so great. So
yeah, he better be helping you with a book deal out here. I'm ready for that book. I'm gonna put that out there. I need the Angi Taylor book. I just from the deep dive of research, I would love an Angi Taylor book. I've read the Angie Martinez book.
Angie Martinez book is great.
Technically the audio book, but who really, that book is amazing. I've heard
Tupac shit in that book is so good. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Right, yeah. Read Angie Martinez book. It's amazing. Yeah. So I would love to write a book one day. I'm afraid of like, it would maybe, I don't know if I would start it. I probably would start it when I started my radio career, because the bones to dig up before that are very deep and there's a lot of meat to pick off those bones. And I don't know. Like,
I'm just saying, I have never been shy about. I am a radio nerd. I am a geek. I love the story and the backstory and the journey. Like I said, Angie Martinez book. I've read, Black Privilege, the Elvis Duran one, Bobby Bones. Now I need an Angi Taylor
one. Did you watch the Wendy Williams documentary? Did you watch it?
Yes, yes. The documentary and the movie, the first part,
and the real documentary.
Yeah.
By the way, whoever played Wendy in that movie was so good, right?
So good.
She was so good.
Good.
See, I love that you're a radio nerd because radio people don't think that anybody gives a shit. Sometimes, you get just so. It's like you and I chopping it up right now. You just get very used to just talking and you don't think anybody's really listening. Because if you sit and focus on how many people are listening, you start to get in your head about it. So, I mean, the fact that anybody cares is amazing. Yeah. But I'm a radio nerd. Like I lived, like Angie Martinez was my idol. Ellen Kay was my idol. Like those two, like. So yeah, I love that you love it because
I'm waiting for that alert to say there's an Angi Taylor book coming out. Like
I don't know because nobody would buy it. Nobody would buy it.
I would get so many copies. First of all, I will hand them out to people if I have to, because I feel like there's so much power in that journey and women in radio.
I threw you off your game. I'm sorry.
No, not at all. But I just wanted to. It's the show. It's the nature of the show. I have ADD. Right. It goes everywhere, and eventually we come back or we don't.
It's mine.
Exactly. And I love that style. It's all good. But we don't get to hear too much about women in radio and especially women of color in radio. Mm-hmm. I know about Wendy Williams' story. And so like when folks talk about Wendy Williams now, I'm like, but y'all don't know Wendy Williams for real. Like you don't know the journey, the shit she went through. Like,
Wendy is a fucking G. And anybody can say what they want about Wendy. Yeah, she does a lot of shit just to like get a reaction, but it works. Yeah. It works. Yeah. And look at Wendy now. Wendy in real life is just like a sweet, normal person. I've only met her once, but that one time that we sat and chopped it up, she seemed very who she is. She is who she is, but I love who she is. And I love that like Wendy Williams is the reason that I get to be a bold bitch. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like Wendy Williams is our Howard Stern, so to speak, of the female, broadcasters. And so we needed a Wendy. And the fact that she's a woman of color, boom, icing on the cake, because she is a trailblazer in so many different ways. Yeah. And a lot of people, she's very polarizing. Some people are like, I love Wendy. I know the gays love some Wendy, but there's a lot of people that hate on Wendy and think she's negative. And so, and it's kind of like the same way that people feel about Charlemagne, which is interesting since they, started together.
They were a duo. Yeah,
that's right. And Charlemagne learned from the best, so, and I love Charlemagne. And so, I think that the authenticity and the provocation, like just saying shit to see where it sticks and what doesn't. If you don't do that and you're constantly tiptoeing around people and not asking what the people listening really want to know. I mean, my God, do your Wendy Williams homework. Go back and listen to that Whitney Houston interview back in the day and all. Oh my God, like that kind of shit. I would have been scared to talk to Whitney that way, but Wendy wasn't. So, there's so much to that. Like
there's a certain finesse and, it's a finesse that you have. It's a finesse that she has. It's a finesse that Angie Martinez has, where it's like, she's talking to everybody's her bestie. Like everybody could just feel safe to talk to you, to talk to her, to talk. But there's I feel like it's hard to find that representation of a book or, to learn your story. Like, oh, fuck. Like, I'm so glad we're doing this because I really want people to know you. Oh, and,
my love.
Your story, your journey is incredible. And folks need to know, and if you, I know you want to start kind of like with your book, like if you were to do a book, like in your radio stage, you know, you want to start at your radio stage.
Oh, I'd start from the beginning. I would.
Yeah, you need to start from the beginning. I feel like the way that you are vulnerable with your listeners and the people that are fans of yours.
Yeah.
To see that in a book.
Yeah. See, like, and I love you for that. And I've had other people say that. In my mind, I'm always like, well, listen, if you want to know me, you can listen to me. I'm so open. There literally is no bones that have been unturned in my life, because I believe that part of being authentic is to really just put your own shit out there so that nobody can call you on it. I've been very, very open about my life, the way I grew up, the abuse. I came from a very abusive family, sexual abuse, physical abuse, you name it, at the hands of a stepfather, and then my own father. And there's a lot of shit to, you know, like when you go to therapy, sometimes it's such a cleansing thing to talk about these things. And then sometimes you leave and you're like gutted. Like, whoo, I just feel like I went through like 10 lifetimes in that one session. So it's hard to sometimes like go back into that closet and just sit there with those thoughts and put yourself back in that space. I will, but I'm doing the work to get to a mental place where I can right now, because there's no way I would have been able to like uncover all that shit maybe 10 years ago. And so, yeah, I will at one point, probably at one point. I've had an amazingly, I feel like I've lived two different lives. Like that was like the dark ages to me. And then once I was out of the house and living my own life, it feels like two different Angies, honestly. Yeah. And so, but I'll go there. Yeah. I just have to get into a mental space that I'm comfortable, emotional space where I'm comfortable enough to go and sit there for a while. Cause that, you know, writing a book is a real tedious process. Yeah. It really is. Yeah. Have you read Elvis's book, Elvis Duran's book? Yeah. You would love that book too.
That was a good one.
You know what's wild about Elvis too? When I first started in radio, and like you mentioned earlier, I've been doing this for 25 years. Elvis was already very established. And when I first started, there was always the whispers of, well, Elvis is gay. And this was in the, you know, mid 90s where, and I was like, well, why don't we know that? But of course that's not nobody should be pressured into speaking their truth until they want to. But in my mind, I was like, my God, that truth is going to be amazing when it comes out. And so when he did, because I had been such a fan for so long, I was so happy for him in that moment. And I can't imagine how scary that must have been for him. So reading his book about that entire process was really interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, wow. Like these are like for anybody listening, watching, write down all of these books and authors and radio folks that you need to check out their book, because you don't even have to read it. Just get the audiobook. Yeah. You can listen to it.
Oh, the audiobook for sure. I would listen to Elvis's audiobook on my way into work every morning, and it would go on the air because I'm like, okay, that's what they're doing. You know, Ryan is the king. He is the king. Like, you know, Angela Yee, like everybody, like Wendy, Angie, like all these people are so amazing. And the great thing about, and you're probably like, why do I care about a radio person? And the books are not as much about the person as it is as well about the experiences that radio people have had in life. Because trust me, we have met every walk of life of person, celebrity, you name it. We have seen it all and done it all. Every backstage, every tragedy, every national tragedy. Like we've been enmeshed in all of it, and we have to work through it. And we have to, you know, connect to our audience in those moments. And so everything that you've been through traumatically, as far as like a national thing, we've been through it with you. You might have even heard it first on our show. And so it's really, it's a crazy life. It is a crazy life, and it is book worthy, but everybody's like, well, I don't care about this person's life. It's like, no.
Yeah, you do, you but you do. But you do care.
Good.
Yeah.
The stories are good.
Wow. And like, especially radio folks, because y'all go from market to market. You're going through these experiences that folks are dealing with, whether it be mental health or coworkers and their drama, or maybe a bad joke that didn't work out so well on the radio, and now you're like slightly banned or suspended for a little bit of time, like, you know, and fine.
Because you should be, you racist bitch, and you know who I am. Like, you know who I'm talking to? There's a lot of that. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of ups and downs. It's a very nomadic life. We are like kind of gypsies, just moving all around the country, doing things. So yeah,
I love that. I love that. I need a book from you. I'm gonna manifest that. I'm gonna tell the ancestors that I need you to be ready to do that book, because
there you go. Tell your Haitian boyfriend. Come on.
Yes, my Haitian boyfriend. Spirit guide, you heard that, right? Okay.
Spirit guide, yeah.
Jebediah in the meantime as a placeholder.
Yeah, I don't feel like Jebediah was Haitian. No, Jebediah's from like Pennsylvania back in the day or something like that.
I'm going to just, I'll just call him like Sankofa or some shit like that in the meantime. Give you some real Pan-African history for that ass.
Here's something I just learned today. I don't know if you saw this on my social, Jameela.
Oh, shit.
So, you know how they always have stripper names, like it's supposed to be like the street you grew up on, your first pet bullshit. So now the new one is your middle name. What's your middle name?
Irene,
and then the first car you had.
Oh shit. Irene Jetta. Ooh.
Irene Jetta.
Ooh. I like that. Irene Jetta. So what would your stripper name be?
Well, so I don't have a middle name. I'm Serbian, and I guess they don't give them out to Serbians.
So that means you get to make it up.
We ran out. So I'm nothing. So I just have to go by the car, which my first car was a really rusty, dented ass Monte Carlo. So my stripper name's Monte Carlo.
Ooh, I like that.
Kind of good, right?
What is the strangest piece of fan mail that you've gotten?
Girl, I get jail mail. Jail mail. I have a wall in my studio called the jail mail wall. I get mail from inmates all the time, like handwritten mail, obviously. And I staple all of the letters. And there was one from a guy in jail. I love the handwritten jail mail. And it's amazing, the penmanship. And apparently they don't get pens because everything's written in pencil.
Oh, okay.
Which I guess I didn't know. And it's all in that yellow legal pad shit. You know what I'm saying? So in pencil, and his name, oh God. What was his name? Oh, it's like Suicide or something like that was his name. He's in Supermax, so he's never getting out. And he sent a picture with it. Oh no, his name was Nightmare.
Oh,
Nightmare
shit.
is never getting out of jail. He is in Supermax in Indiana, and he's got like 3 teardrops, so motherfucker murders. And so, yeah, so it was all like, I love you so much. I love you so much. Like, whenever you come on the radio, I listen. And then I went through this whole thing in my mind, like, do they get radios in prison? That's amazing.
Right.
And then I found out that they do. So he listens and he's like, whenever you come on, people rattle the bars in the morning. And I'm like, I would love to hear that. So then we had somebody call and play us audio. One of the security guards called from prison to play audio. And I was like, this is wild. He's like, please don't ever say what prison I'm from. Don't say my name or nothing. But that happens because we play like heavy metal and stuff in the morning and stuff like that. Yeah. So they just like go cry. And I was like, whoa. Yeah. So, but now I have a whole wall of all my prison booze.
Yes, I love it. I want folks to kind of get an understanding of like your earlier days, because I need them to understand, again, a deeper level of the dopeness and kind of why y'all would want to read, why you will be reading Angie's book is what I will say. Your radio career, it began while you were in college, but you were also bartending on the side. And then someone came into your bar and you had met a local personality from the radio, and they offered you an internship. Which is what you were kind of alluding to earlier, talking about how you got your start with the internship. And you were able to do the internship and earn your college credit. And you loved the job from day one, and you knew you were going to go into the business. Growing up in Minneapolis, Minneapolis
or Indianapolis? Which one is it?
Right, it's
Minneapolis.
That's the Californian pronunciation.
You're not the first person that said that. Like, I don't know what Indianapolis. Where are you from?
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
Living down the street from Prince, you had two posters on your wall.
Yes.
It was Two Live Crew and it was Two Live Crew and Motley Crue,
yes.
Which is a beautiful balance of understanding music is an experience to be felt. What was the moment that you fell in love with working in radio?
Oh my gosh. Probably, honestly, the first night of my internship. I was interning for a night guy. The first time I fell in love with radio. Listen, like I've told you before, I grew up in an abusive family. You know this about me. Mm-hmm. My family was so messed up, and my abuser was my stepfather. He put a lock on the outside of my door, so I couldn't get out. So the radio was my best friend. That's like all I had. And the radio personalities were my best friends. Oh my God, I'm going to get teary-eyed because I just realized that was a light bulb moment. So yeah, so that was, that's probably when I first fell in love with radio. But when I decided to get into radio, it was literally that first night because of the energy, the electricity, watching the night guy, a guy named Tony Fly, who is on Sirius Radio. He lives in LA too. Like watching him work and hearing the callers and just the board blinking and the music and the backstage and the people and the energy was just infectious. It was like a drug. I loved every second of it. And there's so much energy to radio, and it's so great. So it really was. It was like the first night I became an intern. And that first night I became an intern, I quit college. I was only in my first semester of college. And I was like, I'm done, because I was paying for my own college, and I'm like, I can't afford it anyway. And this is what I want to do. And I know I'm going to do it. So full steam ahead, because I was in college, I was interning and then bartending at night. I was like nonstop all day, not getting home until 3 a.m. and then getting up at 6 a.m. for college, and then just nonstop, which is what you're supposed to do in your 20s. That's your grind. Right. But I just knew that radio was for me. And then that was my main, I'm one of those weirdos that I hyper focus. Once I find something that is my vibe, like I'm all about it. So that was it for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, you're also a super Prince fan. How has Prince, all this wine is now kicking in. How has Prince inspired your broadcasting journey while staying true to your authenticity in an industry that often feels polished?
It does feel polished. Here's the thing about Prince. Prince, was hyper private. So there's nothing we have in common in that way. However, Prince, again, the radio, like I said, locked in my room. Radio was everything to me. When I was born in 1973. So when I was coming of age as a young girl, Prince was also becoming a huge star. Here's this androgynous high heel wearing guy liner, but still so sexy in every other way. Oh my God. So Prince was a sexual awakening for me in many ways. Prince was a musical awakening for me. And also there was the pride of just like my homie that lives a few blocks down is one of the biggest stars in the world now. So there was a lot of pride, and music was just everything. And so Prince being the genius that he was and all of that. So as far as who I am as a personality is complete polar opposite of who Prince is, because he was so private and I'm so open. But where we met in the middle was just where we met in the middle. Like he's my like best friend or something. Where I find the similarities is just where we came from, and the openness and the rawness and the realness before he became a Jehovah's Witness and stopped doing all that stuff. But no knock on the Jehovah's.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, like Prince was, man, just everything. It's I light up when I talk about him. He's just, I don't know anybody more talented, more amazing. I was that girl that was so he was so private and would not fuck with radio very much, but he did fuck with Minneapolis radio, right? So he would send us emails and be like, hey, I'm doing a show at Paisley tonight, Paisley Park. And I'm like, at that time, I'm 25. I'm like, shit, it's January. It's -20 outside. I'm wearing the shortest skirt I can with open toe shoes. I'm going to stand in that snow. And he's like, oh, I'll be on stage at midnight. So I'd show up there, 10 o'clock at night to wait in line. Yeah. He doesn't go on till 3. I would stand outside for hours. And this was months on months, like every month I would do that and just wait for Prince just to go in there and look at him. And then when he became Jehovah, you couldn't go in there and drink anymore. You couldn't go in there and do anything. He wouldn't do any of his swear songs or his sex songs. And I was like, okay, I'll just watch your art now. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm so glad that I got to have that time in my life. That was such an amazing time. I think I went to Paisley Park at least 20 times in that decade, which I was very lucky to do that. Yeah.
Damn. That's amazing. That's amazing. As you've kind of mentioned earlier, you've been very open and honest about your journey with mental health and managing mental health, and your household that you grew up in, and getting kicked out of the house at 16. You didn't know that you had anxiety and were depressed, and that you had PTSD for so long. And you didn't want to sit in therapy every day and relive that trauma. Even when we kind of discussed even the book, you don't want to really rehash a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But you knew physically you weren't able to function. What was the moment for you that you said, today is the day that I'm going to put it in action and get that help?
Oh, I don't know that there was like one certain moment. I think it's happened. I think I've had that moment, I should say, many times, because I feel like it manifests itself so many times in ways that I did not expect. Maybe the first time was as soon as I was kicked out of the home. I was like, I don't know how to process this, but I also don't have health insurance. I got kicked out at 16 years old. I was the only kid in high school with a job in an apartment. And so and no health insurance, obviously. So I'm like, I'm not going to therapy. I was just trying to figure out how to survive. Right. And, it was a lot of couch surfing. So, I mean, without being homeless, I was pretty homeless. Like I was couch surfing on my aunt's couch, my grandma's couch, my friend's couch, the dude I was fucking's couch, like whoever's couch at that moment. Yeah. And so it was not until, I shouldn't say it was not until it's happened many times that I've been like, wow, I'll feel it manifest in a different way. When I left my home, I developed a horrible I was a drug addict. I was a coke addict. I was an alcoholic. I still kind of am an alcoholic. I was a drug addict though. And, so there have been many times where I have felt the PTSD and the depression and the anxiety come out in different ways and not know how to deal with it. So I have gone to therapy off and on my entire life. I have just started to feel like I'm getting my arms around some of the things. A lot of the help from that comes from the ketamine treatments that I've been doing.
I definitely have been wanting to talk about that because,
we can
for folks,
talk about it.
Yeah.
Ketamine. Listen, I always say that we're all a little crazy, right? It's just how you manage your crazy. It's how you manage your crazy that matters. And I will never be 1,000% okay. I have discovered that about myself. And so it's going to be a lifelong process for me. And I'm sure it's going to take many different shapes and forms. And I'm just trying to fight through all of them. And, it's like recovery one day at a time. So, yeah. So ketamine.
Yeah.
Have you heard of ketamine?
I had never heard of ketamine until I did my research on you, and that you've been getting ketamine infusion therapy for the last, was it 2 years?
Years, yeah.
And you go every month. You go once a month.
I go once a month now. Yeah.
And then when you take it, you feel a little bit groggy, but after that, you feel fine.
Right.
For folks that have never heard of it, or they've only maybe loosely heard of the word ketamine and what it is, explain to folks what exactly it is, and kind of I don't want to say it's new science, but it's definitely something that folks are actually.
It is
better. Yeah.
It is a new science, though, Jameela. Like, it's not a new science. It's just a new way of administering it, right?
Of using it, yeah.
The ketamine, if you partied in the 90s, you probably did some K.
You did some K.
You did some K. I did some K one time. And so when ketamine therapy became a thing, I was like, oh, hell no, I'm not doing ketamine therapy. I was on a K-hole for like a week once. I didn't know where I was. So psychedelics are being used more and more in treatment for severe depression, PTSD, things like that. So ketamine is K, if you know the drug name, it's K, but in micro doses administered by a doctor, they have found that it's sort of like a brain reset. And I cannot even tell you how refreshing it is to not be on a daily pill for depression or anxiety or whatever, panic attacks. I am not on daily pills anymore because of the ketamine. I mean, everybody has to research it because I know it sounds kind of crazy, but it has been a lifesaver to me. My brother was an Army Ranger, Special Forces, who had horrible, severe PTSD to the point where we thought many, many times he was suicidal. The ketamine saved his life. My PTSD is, I can sit here and talk to you about the things I've gone through without bawling. Whereas before, I wouldn't be able to even speak about it because it was debilitating at some times. So ketamine has been a lifesaver for me. And the foundation that you mentioned that I am on the board for, Serenity Foundation, what we do, because ketamine's not cheap. And the Veterans Hospital, the VA, has just finally, thankfully, decided to make ketamine a part of their treatment. Because when I see my brother, I'm like, my God, ketamine should be like prescribed the minute they're out of combat because of PTSD. Because here's these guys and ladies who go through battle, and then it's like, cool, thanks for all your service. Bye, go back in the world. And you're trained to kill people. I couldn't walk down the street with my brother in Chicago, where it's so densely populated and there's so many people, without him freaking out because somebody was too close to him. I couldn't sit in a restaurant with him where his back was turned. He had to sit up against a wall because if he knew there's people behind him, he would freak out. And so it really is life-changing in that way. And it's a bit of a brain reset. And it doesn't make you feel any different day to day. Whereas the pills did make me feel different. I felt like a little bit numb to the world. I still have every emotion. I still cry. I still laugh. I'm still up and down like every other person. I just handle shit better. Like not every little thing is a death sentence for me where, like if my boss was like, hey, can you call me? I'd be like, oh my God, I'm going to get fired. Then my husband's going to leave me. We're going to lose our house. Like, oh my God. Like, like everything would go off the rails. And that's what anxiety and depression does to your brain. Like I just could not come back from that. And so now I handle things better is the best way to say it, because I don't feel high. I don't feel low. I just feel normal. And like when I do get it's once a month. But when I get it's like being in a K-hole for a second. It's a fun trip though. I kind of look forward to those sessions. For an hour after, you have to have somebody drive you home. You can't just drive your ass home in a K-hole. So then for an hour, but it's the micro dosing. So it's all doctor. And it's really brilliant. And they've done so many studies and there's been so many 60-minute type things about it. But if you're interested, check it out.
It was the FDA that approved it, right? That,
well, the VA just approved it for treatment. FDA is still back and forth on it. But there's probably a ketamine clinic wherever you live, especially like you in LA. Shit.
Yeah,
First
we
time
got
I was
everything.
in LA, I'm like, weed is legal here?
Oh,
You
yeah.
got weed everywhere? Like, I was walking down the boardwalk in Venice and they're like, hey, do you want a weed card? I'm like, hell yeah. And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
here. I'm like, wow, it's that easy. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, because, for folks that are listening, I talk about mental health, but it's important to get the treatment or to be able to manage it, whether it be via therapy or, I know folks use weed and CBD and, all of these other different things. And I had never heard of ketamine until I did my deep dive. And I was like, wow, like I've never heard of this. And this is amazing that this is another option. Yeah. And it seems like it's actually a very helpful option.
It's so helpful. It's helped me, it's helped my husband. And like Jameela, like there's everybody has their own path in coping, right? I mean, like you said, for some people, it's weed. For some people, I know so many people that are suffering from PTSD or overcoming addiction that are triathletes. Like when I started doing triathlons, I'm like, damn, like everybody's like an old cokehead or like an alcoholic here because it's a transfer of addictions or it's a way of coping. And so we all have to find our own way. What works for me might not work for you or one of your listeners, but there are so many avenues that are becoming open because we're talking more about mental health. And I love you for bringing that up. And I love that you talk about it.
Absolutely. I feel like it's so important for folks to know that there are those things available and those options there. And, I had dated, this was years ago. I dated a woman and she was or is bipolar. And she would take pills. And I remember her saying that when she takes the pills, she feels groggy. She doesn't feel like herself. Like it was like it was a thing, but I knew when she wasn't taking it though. And so because she was having maybe those manic episodes or she was, there's these different signs but then she would say, no, I'll just smoke some weed and I'll be fine. But weed wears off. Right. And I think that it's so important for folks to know that there is ketamine or K as an infusion therapy to help manage that. Because I feel like, either folks don't want to talk about it or B, they don't want to get the treatment or the therapy.
Let's be honest, it sounds scary. If I said I was on cocaine therapy, you'd be like, really, bitch? You're on cocaine therapy. So to say like, ketamine or any sort of psychedelic is being administered microdosed by a doctor and is helping with like lifelong PTSD, lifelong depression. Like my doctor is amazing. His name is Dr. Balnandra. I just want to shout him out. My doctor is treating some of the gymnasts that were part of the US gymnasts that were abused by their trainer. So like he is helping so many people. My brother, like amazing, like he's the biggest ketamine pimp in Chicago. So just, you know what? Like it's something, if it sounds scary, just research it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But I'm telling you, when you're on a path to try to find some sort of clarity and some sort of calm and something, because this is a lifelong issue. Like I said, it's all how you manage it. And when you're trying to find something, you go anywhere to find whatever it is. Like you said about your girlfriend, the pills, the weed, the whatever. You try it.
I just want to put that out there. Ex-girlfriend.
I'm sorry, your ex-girlfriend. Oh yeah, because your wife is editing.
I'm married now. I'm married now.
Fuck that bitch. But anyway, like when you're when you're trying to find your happy, you'll go anywhere you can to find it. Sometimes people go to bad places. Sometimes people find whatever works. So check out ketamine. There are a lot of ketamine clinics in LA.
Shit, I'm about to Google that and see like what. Yeah, like I appreciate you because
like if you go like get an IV drip and it's like 40 minutes, you just sit there, you space out, you chill out, you see some things.
See some things.
See some fun.
Yeah,
things.
And I researched that it even helps fibromyalgia because it's numbing the pain. It's numbing the actual physical pain that you're feeling as well. So
that's the newest
folks
thing
that are out there that have body pain, it's something
Yes.
I think that's something important for them.
That's the
as
newest
well.
thing they're finding is with chronic pain, it's become something that's really helpful as well.
Mhm.
So I hope anybody that tries it finds relief and just checks it out. That's really cool. Thank you for bringing that up, Jameela.
Absolutely, of course. You know, for you, you know, we talk about like interviewing folks, and like interviewing is not easy at all. It looks amazing and glamorous, but there's a lot that goes into it. For you, you know, you have interviewed and spoken to so many different folks. How do you balance your mental health as when it comes to, especially while trying to keep a sense of professionalism in that moment? You know, we talked about ketamine, but in that moment of trying to keep that professionalism, like I had no idea about the whole Amanda Seales thing until I did my deep dive on you, and I was immediately like,
did you watch that interview?
I watched it and I was like, what the fuck? How dare Amanda Seales come from my girl, Angie?
You know what?
Like,
I was warned. They warned me. I was warned by so many people that are in the industry that were like, girl, you don't want to do that interview. And I love, you saw the interview. I loved Amanda Seales. Like,
you were like, I have love for you. Like, why are you coming at me like that?
Like, why are you coming at me this way? That was the first time that I have ever ninja'd that shit where I was like, I am just going to laser focus on being calm, because every fiber of my being wanted to fuck up my ring light, throw my computer, to tell her what I really thought. But I was like, I got to be professional. Yeah. And when I interviewed Amanda Seales, it was right at the beginning of COVID. And so a lot of our interviews all became Instagram lives. And so I'm interviewing her on this Instagram live, and she snaps on me. And then I see 8 million comments, like everything's blowing up. And I'm like,
that shit was nuts.
Box breathing, girl. 4x4 breathe. 4 in, 4 out. Hold it. 4 in. 4. Like, I'm like, whew, like, just trying. I was like, because I didn't want to get her. Like, that was the hardest interview I've ever done. It's amazing you brought that up. It's the hardest interview I've ever done. And I've done some ones that are like really boring with people, you know? And I can say you absolutely know how, because research is the best way. You got to research the fuck out of it, find out what you guys have in common, and then play off of that. Right. So I'm like trying to talk, like I knew Amanda had a degree in hip hop. So I'm trying to talk to her about hip hop. I'm trying to talk to her about her geekdom on Harry Potter. I'm trying to talk to I'm trying to appeal to her in every single way. And I must have caught her on an off day, but man, she was not there for it. And I just didn't want to lose my cool, because then it would have been, wow, Angie's an asshole. Yeah. She couldn't even like keep it together. She hung up on Amanda Seales. And what had happened was Amanda in that equation did not look good. And that happens. I should send Amanda Seales some flowers, because man, I got like 20,000 followers after that thing. Yeah. It's not what I wanted, because like I said, I'm a huge fan of Amanda, but it just, it's heartbreaking to see how some people are maybe not ready for the scrutiny, the spotlight, the questions. And I didn't ask her anything she hadn't talked about already. And you know, we're talking now.
She's openly spoken about everything you asked her. It wasn't brand new, but
it wasn't brand new. And so, and she's like, I've already talked about this. I'm like, but you haven't talked about it with my listeners. Like, my listeners don't know you.
This is a different market. This is a different listenership.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm trying to get people to know you and support you and love you the way I love you. So I want them to know the full range. Like, if I would have popped off on you, Jameela, about asking me about my childhood and my trauma, you've been like, bitch, you talk about it all the time. Why am I the one? Why am I the one?
We can't talk about it?
Now you can't talk. Like, that's how I felt in that moment. I'm like, okay. I'm like, Amanda.
Usually I also feel like someone like that, whether I feel like anybody doing an interview will say, I don't want to fucking talk about X, Y, and Z.
And then don't.
Period. Right. And that's what should have been laced in the I'll do the interview, but don't ask me about this shit, because if you do, then I'm gonna give you some good video.
In fact, the booking agent, when my producer said, "Is there anything that is off limits?" she said no. So I'm like, okay, cool.
See,
I love Insecure. It's one of my favorite shows. So I wanted to go in on it. So
yeah,
when you say nothing's off limits, you ask me the same question, right? Mm-hmm. In your pre-thing, you say, "Hey, what are your pronouns? What are you drinking tonight? What is off limits?" And I'm like, nothing.
Exactly.
If I were to like renege on that, I'm like, why would you do that? So
I'd be like, okay, you got us both out here looking crazy. If you tell me that nothing is off limits, I'm gonna hold you to that shit.
Right.
You know, just watching it alone, it was very triggering. Just the way that she was. Yeah, like just the way I was like, oh, not my.
Well, you know me personally, so you're probably.
Well, like even if I saw that, even if I didn't know you, I would be like, the fuck. Like I would probably want to individually reach out to you and be like, "Are you okay?" Because it was very. I didn't like it, but I don't like shit like that anyway. Like
I was fine. I honestly was fine after the interview. I started getting nervous that people would think of me as like I was attacking her, and I didn't want it to become a racial thing. I didn't want it to be like, "Oh, I'm like the asshole attack media or something." You know what I mean? Because I tried super hard during that interview to give her, you know, all her flowers and bend on knee for her, because I do love her, or I did love her, but I tried to do all of that. So that's a hard thing. It's just, it was breathing, girl. It was just breathing. And all I was thinking in the back of my mind was like, if you fuck this up, your boss is going to kill you. You're going to get killed on social media. Like you're going to get attacked in every single way. I'm not a girl that has grace. I'm not a girl that has poise, but in that moment, I just had to like shut up, because she was going off, and I could go off. If you want to go toe to toe, I will go there. But that was not the moment. That was not the moment. I'm like, I'll let her drag me.
Yeah, you handled it like a G. And I was looking at the comments. I was like, okay, like let's just see what the fuck the comments have to say. And they were like, what the fuck is wrong with Amanda? Like, why would she even do that? And it was just looking at every single comment, like you handled it like a G, and the people thought that you handled it like a G. And even people were like,
I thought people were going to shred me for that interview. It was very nice, but
they were like, yo, that level of professionalism. I don't know if somebody could talk to me like that at my job and get away with that shit. Like, that was. I wish I had a pill to give me that sort of like Valium Jesus calm that I had that day. I wish I had that pill every day. I swear to God, something came over me that's like, just shut your mouth, girl. Your Haitian guide was like, shut up. Exactly.
Shut up right now.
Fucking Santo, my spirit guide was like, nope, Jesus is taking the wheel now, Angie. I don't know. I thought about that. Okay, so Santo, I believe that's the guy's name. When I was talking to my reader about what my spirit guide's name would be, I had gone to San Diego for to a gay club and met some guy. I think his name was Santo, and he was Haitian. And I felt like I was the only one talking to him, and that he was like a real, I felt like nobody else saw him but me. And so I was like, okay, maybe this is my spirit guide in the flesh. I have no idea.
I love Santo. That's good.
But I believe his name is Santo, because I low-key saw like a Facebook recommendation for him like years later. And I was like, oh, wow, this is like very strange. Like we don't know same people like that. We'll call him Santo for now. He's been upgraded from Jebediah to Santo.
I'm currently Googling Haitian old-timey names right now.
Yes, I love it. Like for you, fast forwarding through all, not fast forwarding, but the radio shows that you've been on, it's always been someone and Angie show.
Yeah.
And Dave and Angie, Chio and Angie.
Oh, not Dave and Angie, not Chio and Angie. The Dave Ryan show, the Chio show. Well,
you were
I didn't even get co-billing.
Yeah.
Show, the Fred and Angie show.
There you go. So
and
co-billing.
Even that started at just Fred. So yeah.
Fred,
co-billing.
So you were co-hosting on a lot of different shows. And then Right. Not co-billing.
No marquee.
This is the radio.
I was not on the marquee.
This is the radio verbiage, y'all.
Yes.
It was the billing, the headlining.
Yeah.
It was so
It
you were on a
matters.
show with Dave and with
Yes.
Chio and with
Yes.
Booker and co-hosting on the Booker
Yep.
show,
Yep.
doing your part from Chicago, like we had said, to a Philly market. And then it was Fred and Angie officially on the marquee.
Mhm.
Now it is the Angi Taylor Show.
Let's take a
You
shot.
had right, exactly. Hey, 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 hey. Do the hammer. Do the hammer. So you had expressed to your boss for over some tequila, and you know that you wanted to get your own show, and your boss had remembered and wanted to help you make that happen.
Yeah.
And often women, like I was speaking before, women get the short end of the stick a lot. It tends to be a boys' club.
Yes.
And you often have been known to say if you had a dick, you would have had a show. It would have happened 20. It would have happened 20 years ago.
If I had a dick, I would be Ryan Seacrest because I'm cute. I can host American Idol.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, like having your own show is something you've always wanted.
Yeah.
It could have easily become discouraging or a fading dream, especially, you know, being in the industry for so long. You've put in that work for real. How were you able to stay focused and motivated on following through with your lifelong dream?
Ooh, because you know what? Like it was a lifelong dream, but I was scared to death because when you are just co-host, if the ratings are bad, if you get yelled at, I'm like, that ain't me. That's that motherfucker over there. Like, it's not my show. It's not my show. So, you know, it's easy to pass the buck when you're just sitting over here, like giving side commentary. So I was very nervous about hosting my own show. But at the same time, you know, I have been a co-host for 20 something years. And I was with Fred for 10 years that were great. We had huge success on that show. He still has huge success. I wish him the best. I would love to kill him in the ratings soon. One day that will happen. But I loved every minute of that show because we were killing it. But there is something to be said for always being the and. Fred and Chio and Booker and I just wanted to speak about the things that I wanted to speak about and sort of frame out my own show and make it my own thing. And that is a scary thing because what if nobody's listening? What if nobody likes you? And then now I'm going from top 40. I'm a hip hop girl and I'm a rock girl. So for going from top 40 to rock and metal, it would have been, I mean, I was really sick of, you know, like talking about who Taylor Swift was banging every day. Let's be honest. But now this is a completely different audience though. Like I'm talking to 12-year-old girls at one station and now I'm talking to like truck drivers at another station. So it's very different. I honestly feel more comfortable where I'm at right now. And I'm getting older and I'm maybe aging out of this other thing. So my focus was just always to be authentic, which I've always tried to do and which has always served me well. And I don't know how anybody does what we do without being just who they are, because shit, that's a hard facade to keep up, right? And then somebody's gonna call you out one of these days for being fake. So just being who I am and being proud of the fact that I am one of only maybe 3, I think 4 women in all of rock radio that are hosting their whole show and own show in the entire country. And so I'm very proud of it. I'm still scared to death. And it is hard to start at the bottom because Fred and I started at the bottom and then we went to number 1 and now started from the bottom again. And now I'm here and now I'm here. Yeah. Like, so I'm trying to build up a whole new thing. It's very comfortable to be in a place where you're protected with your ratings and your name's not on the show. You don't get in trouble for everything. So now everything is on me. but like, put it on me. I'm ready for it. I've been training my whole life for this. It's like I've been training to fight my heavyweight fight my whole life. And finally they gave me my title shot. So here I go. Like, put it on me. Bring him out. Bring him out. Bring him out.
Bring him out. Bring him out.
Bring him out.
It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Yes. So I think that's a perfect intro to a lot of SKRIPPAs.
Damn, I love the SKRIPPAs.
Damn, I love the SKRIPPAs. So a little fun fact. Angie and I both love P-Valley. We love the strippers. We love, if you haven't been able to tell by now, we love talking about strippers and booty clapping. So I figured I'd make a special
Clifford.
And we
Uncle
love
Clifford.
Uncle Clifford. I would love to have Uncle Clifford on the show. And like that would be amazing. I'm gonna have to reach.
Nico will be on your show. Nico is like
so down.
Nico and I DM now because I got to like speak to him once. Yes. I have him on the DM, honey.
That's fucking amazing. I love that show. Like Uncle Clifford is the fucking best.
The best.
Hoe wrangler, stripper wrangler. The best. Yeah, everything.
Yes.
He's
the Vince McMahon of hoes. Like he just wrangles.
Yeah, just wrangles. But so I created a game just for Angie called Love the SKRIPPAs, which is a remix to Storytime. But we're going through the alphabet, letters of the alphabet, but we have to come up with stripper names. We've talked about stripper names earlier. Mine is Irene Jetta. You've got
Irene Jetta.
Monte Carlo over here.
Yeah.
Monte Carlo.
Now coming to the stage, Monte Carlo.
Now coming to the stage, Monte Carlo.
Hey, but what will be your stripper song? That's another question.
You know, I feel like my weakness is is it Two Live Crew?
Which one?
Shit. That was it.
That was it. Hey, bands make it dance.
All of that. Just anything. Yeah. That or
so what's
Uncle Luke.
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No. It's all good. I love it. Don't worry about it.
Our ADD.
Shit. Welcome. This is an ADD fiesta right here.
Yeah.
Right. What would your stripper name be, or your stripper song be?
I can't decide if it would be like the most ratchet drive-by music ever. Like or like a really slutty rock song. I can't decide. Like I love like some bands that make a dance, but I also love like
some sugar on me.
That's a little.
That's too old school.
I want some like I'm gonna choke you out type of music.
Oh,
like,
a little bit of kill switch engage for that ass. Just
click, boom, bitch. Like
click, yeah. Something where you can like really pop it, like click,
yeah.
Boom. Okay, boom.
Face.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Ooh. I'm like, let me throw you some good ones to play on the station. All right. Love the SKRIPPAs. So I will give you the letter A and you can start it off. We just coming up with stripper names. We're going A, B, C, D. And I'm going to try to list all the amazing stripper names for folks that want to keep track of the game. All right.
Okay. So we go back and forth? Is that what you're saying?
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And if you can't think of one, you got to take a drink and then it gets passed on to me. And if I can't do it, I got to take a drink and it goes back to you.
Mm-hmm. I am in Sniffer's Row, baby. I got all the SKRIPPA names. Let's go.
Yeah, you sure do.
All right. Are you going first or am I going first?
You go first. A.
So starting with A? All right. Aphrodite.
Ooh, Aphrodite. Ooh, I was thinking Alizé.
Alizé, I like that one.
Beautiful Betty. Beautiful Betty.
Beyonce.
Oh no, you got C.
Oh.
You've got C.
Oh, I'm on C? Okay, I'm on
Uh-huh.
C. Oh, shit. Champagne.
Yes,
Champagne.
champagne.
I'm gonna say champagne.
DTF.
Ooh, that's almost Clifford approved. DTF. All right. Oh,
That's the one you want to take to the champagne room.
Shit. I do want DTF in the champagne room.
Yes, yes, me too.
Oh, Electra coming to the stage.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Electra.
Give me your F.
I like that.
See, don't be scrolling. I see you're scrolling on like Google for stripper names or something.
Okay, I'm gonna take a drink. I'm gonna take a drink. You got F. You've got F. You got F.
I got F. Ferrari coming to the stage.
Yeah, that's so true.
Right? Yeah, if you're ever like choked up on what, just think of a car. Ferrari.
Yeah, that's true. Ferrari. Let's see.
You got G.
G.
Oh, GG.
You know Gigi be doing some mysterious shit in the champagne room.
Gigi's hot. I can see Gigi right now. All right, H. I got H. I'm like alphabets right now. H. A hailstorm.
Ooh, a hailstorm.
Because she beats on you like that. She gonna dent your roof, bitch. Dent your roof. Hailstorm.
Okay, I got I got
I.
icy hot.
Ooh. Does she smell like some icy hot? She smells
like straight medicine.
She make it hot. She make it cold. Don't.
I don't know. I'm all over the place, but let's go to the champagne room.
All right, J. Ooh. Jameela, jackhammer, jam-packed, what? Jam-packed. I'm going to pack it in. Pack it. Jameela.
So you got Jameela jam-pack it in?
Yeah, Jameela jam-pack it in. Pack it up, pack it in, Jameela. More wine.
Yes.
You have K.
Pack it up. Pack it
Please
in.
say ketamine.
Okay. Yeah, ketamine. Yeah, I like that. Ketamine.
K-hole.
Coming to you. K.
K-hole. She's going to get you in your K-hole. Comes after K-L. Oh, shit. Oh, shot.
Yeah, oh, shit.
I'm dropping. I took an L on the L. Hold on.
Ooh, L. Larissa.
Ooh, Larissa sounds trailer. I like
Yeah, she does. She over there trying to make it in the strip club.
You know, I was almost side by side in the locker room with Larissa. She probably would live in the same trailer park. All right, M. Misty.
Moet. Ooh, Misty. Ooh, Misty. I like that.
Misty or Misty.
I got N.
Now you have N.
They call her Namaste.
Ooh, peaceful ass bitch. You know what? She's gonna grind on you, and then she's gonna leave you with a nice meditation. Namaste.
Yeah, right.
Ooh, Namaste is a great stripper name.
Leave you in a downward dog right there. Just
Namaste has to have a really skanky last name though, like Namaste KY or Namaste Wetness or something, like Namaste Nasty. Namaste Nasty. Namaste Wet. Namaste WAP. Like something like that.
right. Namaste whore.
Namaste on the pole. Okay.
Namaste whore.
Oh, I have an O. You gave me O.
Oh, I gave you a O.
Oprah Dick Free.
Yes, Oprah.
Like what else is there? O? I don't know any other O name. Oprah.
I love Oprah Dick Free. I will go see Oprah Dick Free.
And the DJ that brings her out is Oprah Spin Free. This is Oprah spin free. Now come to the stage, Oprah dick free. Dick is for free.
I love it. Oh shit! I got pee. Okay.
Pee. Oh come on, pee.
There's so many peas.
I mean, pussy. Some. One. Is there a time
Pusserific.
Pusserific. I mean, do half a shot for that. That's kind of like
I'm gonna do half a shot.
if Pusserific came out, you'd be like, no, I'm gonna go out in the parking lot and smoke while Pusserific's out here.
Right. It'd be like, this is this is clearly the opening act. You take your shot at pee. I took a drink. You do pee.
You? Oh my God. You. Queefy.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Queefy.
Queefy. I was in a strip club one time with my husband Jason in Kentucky, and 2 of the 5 strippers that went on stage that night were pregnant, and I believe one of them was like something queefish. I don't know what her name was. Either that or she queefed on me. I don't remember what it was. There was something queefy going on. But I was like, this is amazing. I gave them, I'm like, please give the pregnant girls all my money. I want them all to have all my money. Those 2 girls. If you ever get time, go to a strip club in like Kentucky, like right outside Cincinnati, like half hour in. Woo! Beer, canned beer and full on vagina in your face. I'm a strip club connoisseur. My husband and I love a strip club. Okay, so you have R.
I do. I'm just gonna go with Riri. Riri.
Oh, Riri.
Riri.
Riri is my dream girl. So yeah, that would be.
I mean, we would all love to see Riri strip.
Is Riri in your top 5? Because she's in mine.
Yes. Riri.
You know she's a freak. Riri's a freak. Okay.
Just waiting for her to say she. Yeah.
Say it. Send the word. Give a bat signal. Blink twice, Riri. Blink.
Just blink.
Where is the album? We need the damn album. And we also need your vagina. Okay, our S.
Exactly.
Okay.
Kaylani joined the club, but
I know.
Did you hear about that?
I did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kaylani's amazing. Kaylani joined the club and that guy from The Bachelor. So.
Oh yeah.
Y'all got
Colton. Yeah. Right. He's like, I'm tired of women. It's time for me to live my truth.
What do you mean you're tired of women? You never had women, Colton.
Like
don't
men.
lie. He was a virgin. You don't know, Colton. You never had no women. Shut up.
Right.
Okay. S. I have S.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. I'm like Sasha Fierce. No, I already said beer. Oh shit, drink. I can't. Like S. I lost it in my S.
S. Ooh. Okay.
T.
Wait. So you're S.
Yeah. Oh no. If I miss it, you have to take it. So now you have S.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna name it after the club we have out here because I feel like that's a stripper name, Savoy.
Oh, Savoy. I haven't been to Savoy. When I come to LA next time, you take me to Savoy?
Yeah, of course.
Your wife won't get mad? Can she come with us?
No, of course. Yeah, she's all good. She knows that. Just out here being trifling.
All right.
No, it's all good. We'll go to Savoy, then we'll go to a real Teddy Taylor.
Titty Taylor.
Yes. Taylor.
That's my super name. Titty Taylor.
Yes. You. Thank you. Had to get a new bottle.
I love it. I did the same just a second ago. We're on the same timeline.
Let's see. You know you want it.
I love
Umbrella Ella.
Umbrella Ella would be amazing.
Yes,
And she walked
Umbrella.
out to that shit and there's like fake rain. I love that one. This is my most favorite thing I've ever done. I'm sorry this podcast is 5 hours long. Okay, I had B.
It's all good.
I had B. Let's see.
It's all good. I love it. There is no part of this that's boring at all. This is amazing. This is amazing.
V, I mean, obviously there's a vagina joke there somewhere, but I don't like vagina. Oh, it sounds clinical, so I don't want to do that. So how about vaccination?
Coming to the stage.
Vaccination. Yeah, no mask, bitch. I'm mask off. I am mask off.
She's doing it raw. No mask.
No mask anywhere. Mask off. Vaccination coming to the stage. I would love that.
Vaccination coming to the stage. I love it.
Mask
coming to the stage. WAP.
Ooh, that WAP.
That WAP.
WAP. You don't want that dot. You want that WAP. WAP and DOP should go on stage together and like
WAP and DOP.
Grind it out. It'd be just like, medium women. Okay. X, there's no such thing as an X. Okay. X Tina.
Ooh, see? There you go. Boom.
X-Tina.
Bringing it. Ooh. Yella.
Oh, Yella.
Like and they shortened it Hi Yella, but they just call her Yella.
Yella. Well, isn't that the girl at the Pank?
Oh yeah, on the Pank. On the Pank. Mm-hmm. On the Pank. Yella. Mm-hmm.
The one that keeps doing the money transfers. Yella. Okay.
Yella.
Z. Z. Shit. Zip tie that coochie. No, I don't know.
I like that. Zip tie that. Coming to the stage. Zip tie that coochie.
That makes zero sense, but I ran out of ideas.
I love it. I love it. So we came up with Aphrodite, Beautiful Betty, Champagne, DTF, Electra, Ferrari, Gigi, Hailstorm, Icy Hot, Jameela, Jampack it up, pack it in, Ketamine, Larissa, Misty, Namaste, Oprah Dick Free, Pusserific, Queefy, Riri.
Queefy's good. Don't you want to just like take Queefy under your wing and like show her the way? Because Queefy is a little like,
come here, Queefy. Let me show you. Let me show you the way.
Hey, you gotta stop Queefing when you're dancing. Come on, Queefy. Look, Queefy. Come on.
Let me show you the stripper ropes, Queefy. And then we have Riri, Savoy, TT Taylor, Umbrella Ella, Vaccination, WAP, Xtina, Yella, and Zip Tie That Coochie.
Zip Tie the Coochie. I feel like I really dropped the ball on the Z, so I'll take another shot.
It's all right. Zip Tie That Coochie. I love it.
Zip tie Coochie all day.
Zip tie that Coochie.
This is the best podcast I've ever been on in my entire life.
I appreciate it. This is amazing. Yeah. I'm having such a blast. Now, to kind of switch gears a little bit, your wedding anniversary is upon us. Yeah. It's going to be 10 years in May. What love advice can you give to folks out there looking for love, and for married folks like myself? What has kind of what keeps y'all sustained? Like, I love y'all's love, and I love the funny shit that y'all post about each other. High school,
we bust on each other.
High school pictures of one another.
Yes. We love to bust on we clown on each other a lot, and yes. So in that regard, we don't take that kind of stuff too serious, and it's fun to play like that. 10 years, I don't know that I'm a wise old like married sage or anything. I would say that just being besties is so important, just being besties, like who, especially during pandemic, right? You find out if you really love to just like kick it on the couch all day with somebody. Like you have to be besties with your mate. And I feel like people get married because they want kids, because they feel like it's their time, because they're supposed to, because they have pressure. But you really like just marry your bestie. I didn't get married till I was 35. And in my culture, my family's right off the boat, Serbian. They were all like, why you not get married? Are you lesbian? It's okay. It's okay. Say. I'm like, I just haven't found the right one yet. But then, so I would say be besties with that person. And then also, like let the little shit slide. Let the little shit slide, because I feel like we pick each other apart so much. Mm-hmm. My husband and I pick each other apart a lot. And sometimes I'm like, can you just forget about how I rolled my eyes at you yesterday? I'm sorry about that. But like, can we just let it go and not make it a whole huge fight that goes on for 3 weeks? Like, just like let the little shit go, because if you're on board for marriage and you're on board for life, there's going to be a lot of shit that bothers you. So you got to let the little shit go, you know, because you could sit and pick at each other to death. You just got to let the little things go and be besties and have fun. Have fun. Just have fun. And like really letting the little shit go is the most important thing, I think. There are things to fight about when you're married for a long time. There are things to fight about. And you will have battles and the ups and downs, but the little shit, the daily, day-to-day little shit, if you start picking that shit apart all the time, like it's going to be a long life. It's a long life. Yeah. So it's a little like, let the little things go.
I love it. Fun fact, the kid heard me talk about zip tie that coochie and is asking, now he keeps saying it apparently, and he's asking, he wants to know what, if I'm saying
so
zip tie that coochie.
Apparently zip tie the coochie is the winner of the whole A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Right? And you thought that was weak sauce. I
thought it was weak.
Zip tie that coochie.
It doesn't have layers. Love all my layers. A lot of people cover up their layers. That's why I'm like, just own your bullshit and put your layers out there.
I think that's a part of it. I try to own my bullshit before other people call me out on my bullshit and be like, okay,
right.
Yeah.
And there's freedom in that. Isn't there? It's just freedom.
It really is. It's super liberating.
Like, bitch, I told you who I was. And now you can't like say, well, I don't like this about you, but I told you. I already told you. Yeah. I told you I had 8 toes. If you don't like my 8 toes, okay, I told you that though. And you were fine. I don't have 8 toes. That's
right.
Really wild.
Just for the record, I don't have 8 toes.
No,
all right, we're gonna play a quick round of What Do You Meme, because we have Angi Taylor here. We are going to take every single moment that we have to enjoy this moment before we let you go. I need to squeeze in one more jam-packed game. We play a little bit of What Do You Meme. So with the caption that I'm about to flip, we're going to caption the card, and whoever laughs has to drink. Now, if nobody laughs, then you've got to drink.
Oh, damn.
Are you ready?
See, I feel like you have a really good, I feel like you have like a thug face when it comes to not laughing. Like you won't laugh.
I laugh at so much. And then when I really actually don't laugh, I feel bad because I'm like, oh, that wasn't funny. But most stuff I laugh. And with you, I feel like I'm just automatically going to laugh just because I love the way that you caption and tell stories. So we're going to see how this goes.
All right.
We're going to see how this goes. It's all right. I've done this where nobody laughed. And I was like, well, I fucking laughed. And I made myself drink anyway.
Let's do it.
All right. First card. A little bit of sipping of the tea. A kid sipping the tea with the face.
The meme on this is, oh shit, Jameela just zip tied that pussy. All right. Not coochie. Sorry. I hope your son doesn't say that.
Oh shit. Okay, I got a drink.
I just drank on my own self.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Okay. So mine is gonna be Queefy. You mean to tell me your name's not Beautiful Betty out here?
Just
You
the
got
fact
me
that
fun.
You better stop that queefy. Like, queefy. That just made me laugh. That was so for little kids to be a cup of tea saying queefy. Where you been, queefy?
Queefy.
Time you get home last night, queefy. I saw you walk in at 7 a.m.
Right? Okay.
You've been queefing on. Oh, shit.
Oh, now we got a new kind. We got the kid with the buck teeth.
I know. I love her.
Eye.
She's such a baby Karen in the making, this one.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is.
Oh, my God.
This is Angie's favorite
My
kind.
son was first on the slide, bitch. Or like, oh, I was first on the slide. You smell like
Okay, I'm going to take a drink. Ooh.
That's a Karen in the making right there.
Mm-hmm.
What does she look like now? Because I know this beam is like a few years old, but she's one of my favorites. I'm just dying to know what she looks like now. Get her out of my face. I hate her. I want to speak to the manager. Where did you put the guns, Mr. Walmart? Where are they?
Right?
Where is the Wonder Bread?
Where's Uncle Clifford? Where's Uncle Clifford?
She's not allowed.
It is.
She's not
I
allowed.
want to see Auntie Namaste out here with open.
She doesn't have Auntie Namaste.
No, she doesn't.
She has Aunt Pam or something.
Yeah, she does.
Namaste.
Aunt Pam. Aunt Pam.
Aunt Donna. Where's Aunt Donna?
Right? Oh, man.
Oh, that was amazing.
Before we get out of here, what would the Angie of the Angi Taylor Show on Rock 95.5 Chicago say to the 13-year-old Angie?
Oh, shit, Jam. That's how you're going to make me cry right now.
Oh, shit.
I would tell 13-year-old Angie that she should not worry. Because that's all I did. Cheers, baby. Don't worry. It's all going to be okay. I would tell that to any 13-year-old. Don't worry. It's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. Life sucks right now. Oh, man. I can't think of a worse time in life than like 15, 13 to like 25. Like worst. So it's going to be okay. Just be you, do you, and trust in yourself. And that's it. Like trusting in yourself is the hardest thing in the world, especially at that age, because we can't see beyond next week, when you're 13, let alone seeing 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, but just like, you're going to be all right. Yeah. You're going to be all right.
Absolutely.
That's it. And you know what? One day you're going to go to a strip club and meet Queefy. And you're going to be so happy.
I'm going to be like, yo, Queefy, we've been talking about shit.
Just don't queef on me. But what up, Queefy? Queefy, how many times you queef today?
Hey, yo, Queefy.
Queefy, you queefing ass bitch. Queefing ass vagina ass bitch. Queefy. Queefy all queefing on everybody. Queefing on my car. Queefing at the 7-Eleven. Bitch queefing everywhere. Queefing on Jameela. She queefing on the Jam Bag podcast, Queefy podcast, bitch. Queefy is my new favorite stripper. Hey,
she in Chicago queefing, just all over your place.
Hey, when you queef in Chicago, it turns into icicles because it's so cold. I love you, Jameela. This has been amazing.
This has been amazing. What officially, before we get out of here, we usually end on words of wisdom. What would be your words of wisdom? Not necessarily for Queefy, but for anybody listening, what would be your words of wisdom? This has been amazing.
Of wisdom. You are your own best PR agent, meaning you are in the business of Jameela. I am in the business of Angie. Nobody is going to ride for you harder than you're going to ride for yourself, right? So constantly live in your truth. And if you queef in public, then so be it. Maybe you'll be the next star of P-Valley. But just live in your truth. Just put it all out there. Who cares? We did it today on this amazing podcast. And thank you for having me on it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming. I guess my words of wisdom will be, never stop believing. I hate that sounded like a rock song. I hated that sounded like a 95.5. Never stop believing.
I'm never doing another podcast again unless it's this fun, because I feel like I'm doing everybody's podcast. Like, I'm going to send it to everybody. I'm like, unless you're coming with this Jameela shit, like, don't even ask me to do it anymore. This has been so fun. It's been like a 4-hour podcast.
I appreciate you have to come back to do After Dark. Like, this is too much fun.
After Dark?
Like, that's where she gets.
Oh, that's After where she gets wild?
Yeah, she gets wild. This has been amazing. Like, my words of wisdom are just like all over the place, because this has been so amazing and dope and beautiful, and every
I love you
word and feeling of positivity and gratitude and humble. And y'all, again, if y'all fast forwarded through all this, first of all, I don't know how to feel about that. Secondly, right, exactly. Rewind, bitch. Rewind. That way. But, you know, this is the woman responsible for me having the idea to do a podcast. And I want to say thank you. And your journey is you've been through so much, and I really appreciate you and everything that you're doing in the business, outside the business, charities, the world, people, humans. Like, you're out here being amazing, and I really need people to understand that and to respect that, and to respect that OG. You've been in it. You really are truly an OG, and I'm looking forward to this book. I'm gonna keep talking about this book until I see a damn book out here.
Shit, you're coming out with me on the book tour then, because
let's do it.
The one that made me do this.
Yes, I'll be the hype woman. You need a hype woman. Be like, yeah, y'all ready for some Angi Taylor? You know?
Here comes Queen Latifah.
Right. And here comes beautiful Betty.
Beautiful. Jameela, I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of, this has been, like I said, I'm never doing another podcast again. I'm like mic dropping. I'm like George Stanza. Like, there's no, like, I have to leave the room.
Yes.
This has been the best. I could not be more proud of you. And the things you've said are so nice. And I don't know if I deserve them all, but I've loved having this moment with you. And now, like, that we have this podcast, I want to just, like, we have to have a weekly, like,
yes,
we do. Time.
We do. I'm so with it.
This has been spirit lifting. I've had a heavy week, and I really appreciate you for lifting my spirit, and just, I love you. I love you. And so thank you.
I appreciate you too. And your spirit lifts me up. And whether it's a post or an email, like, I know we've been emailing back and forth, and like, I love your emails, and I love your energy. And, you know, I think it's important for folks to know, the folks that have that energy and that you are receiving that energy from also need your energy and your good frequencies and vibrations. So I think it's important for yeah.
Now
exactly.
more than ever.
I
agree.
appreciate you so much.
I love
like,
you.
this has been so dope. For folks that want to follow you and subscribe, obviously it'll be in the show notes, but how can folks get in touch with you? And I need them to call in.
Yes, they need to call in.
Yes.
844-955-9550. That is our call-in line.
Yes.
Monday through Friday, morning show. And then Angi Taylor Show on Twitter and Instagram. And also, please tell your cousin Nate, he could have had it, but he fucked it up.
I'll let him know.
I know he's like my husband, one of my husband's besties.
He's your other husband.
Also tell your wife, like, you know, she's very lucky. She's very lucky. So enjoy Popstar. Go watch it.
Yes.
I'm plugging it like it's my movie or something, but I think just knowing you personally, I know you would like it. But I love you. Thank you for
let our husband know that he is grateful to have an amazing queen on his side.
so much.
Yes, y'all, if y'all want all the couple goals and gushy goals, that is there on Instagram. Make sure you follow Angie and Jason. Jason has amazing paintings and artwork.
He does. He's a great artist.
Well.
He's a boxer. He's a great artist. But I just want everybody to know, like, couple goals is great. Everybody has problems. Just FYI. So
yes,
I feel like everybody's like pressure.
Yeah, yeah.
Not everything is always like glossy. Not like
There's depth to it. There's more to it.
There's always depth to it, exactly. But I got a good man, and you got a good girl. I can tell by just like the smile you have when you talk about her. So I haven't met her yet.
I appreciate it. No, we all gonna go to the strip club. I know, right? I haven't met her yet. Yeah, when you come to LA. When we go to LA, we go right. We go queefy and meeting of the minds.
Go double queefy on her. All right, I love you. Double queefy.
I love you so much. I appreciate you. Did you give your Instagram handle? I don't know if I heard that.
Angi Taylor Show on, or no, it's Angi Taylor Radio. I'm sorry, Angi Taylor Radio on Instagram and Twitter. I do have an Angi Taylor Show, but that's for the Rock 95.5 show. But Angi Taylor Radio, Instagram and Twitter. Thank you so much, Jameela.
Yes. I appreciate you.
Damn, it's been 4 hours. Like, that's how much
I know. This is a whole marathon right here. So we will do our outro right here. Thank you, y'all, for listening. Every Wednesday, new episode. Angi Taylor, you are amazing. I appreciate you for taking the time to come and chill and have some crazy shenanigans. Wow, I'm looking at the clock. We've been out here marathoning it, but it is a story that needs to be told. Make sure you subscribe, follow Angie, follow the radio show. That'll all also be in the show notes. Make sure you follow Jampacked at Jampacked Show, not at Instagram. Team Queefy at Jampacked Show. Team Queefy at Jampacked Show. Make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe, follow, rate, all that good stuff. YouTube.com/Jampacked. And make sure you rate us on these podcast forums and give us a review. All of that stuff helps and spreads the word, all that good stuff. Y'all, this has been amazing. Again, appreciate it. And we will see you on the next Jampacked.
5 stars, bitches. 5 stars rating. 5 stars. Hey,
Angi Taylor Show.
Peace out, up. Put them in the air, they gon' rise up. Peace out, up.